Bernie Sanders was in Jackson, Mississippi, and he was part of a panel, and he was asked a question in which he delivered a response. And part of the response, he said, quote, "The business model, if you like, of the Democratic Party for the last 15 years or so has been a failure." He also said, "People sometimes don't see that because there was a charismatic individual named Barack Obama. He was obviously an extraordinary candidate, brilliant guy." So because of that quote, supporters of the Democratic Party, supporters of Barack Obama have just, they've gotten their feelings hurt now. And this includes Democratic political strategist and CNN contributor Bakari Sellers. So he put out a tweet. It was early this morning, and it says, "Y'all can defend Bernie all you want. On MLK 50, his lack of self-awareness and arrogance in dismissing number 44 is wild. Bernie 2020 died 4/4/18." So he's saying that Bernie Sanders criticizing Barack Obama, the nation's first black president, on the anniversary, the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr. dying, was very insensitive. And that means that this whole idea of Bernie Sanders running in 2020, y'all can go ahead and kill that.
Is that what he did, though? Is that what Bernie Sanders did? Did he actually directly criticize Obama? Did he say, you know, Obama fucked up, and this is where he fucked up, and this is where you fucked up at? As far as I know, as far as from what I saw and heard with my own ears and eyes, he was criticizing the Democratic Party. Now, Bakari, who's an extraordinarily brilliant person, but
bright guy.
But behind that reality, see, I'm doing the whole Bernie Sanders
the whole
thing.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
Behind that reality is an irrational and illogical loyalty he has for the Democratic Party.
It is illogical.
Yeah, it prevents him from seeing its, like, the Democratic Party's major flaws, and so it definitely affects his ability to be objective when it comes to the Democratic Party. The question was about the Democratic Party, and the answer Bernie Sanders gave was about the Democratic Party, right?
So let me clear up what the question was, okay? Let me clear up what the question was. So Bernie Sanders was prompted, okay? He was given a question, and the question focused on millennials. The guy asking the question said that Bernie did extremely well with millennials in 2016 for his presidential campaign. He asked him how he was going to energize millennials in Jackson, Mississippi, and how he was going to energize millennials in helping to reimagine the Democratic Party going forward. That's why Bernie Sanders talked about the Democratic Party and talked about there being a guy, Barack Obama, our last president,
extraordinary candidate,
a brilliant guy.
So he was giving Barack Obama a compliment,
right,
but he buttressed that with criticizing the business model of the Democratic Party.
Right. So basically he was saying that because of Barack Obama was such a brilliant guy and a very good candidate, a good politician, a lot of people didn't see what was crumbling underneath.
And that was because of the business model of the Democratic Party, not because of Obama.
But many people are saying that this is exactly the reason why Bernie Sanders lost. He can't appeal to black voters because look here, on a day that is revered, you know, the day that Martin Luther King died, assassinated, you're going to criticize the first black president. You don't understand black America. That's why you can't get black votes. Because you remember that was a criticism of him in 2016. He didn't know how to appeal to them. In the South, he got killed by Hillary Clinton, that old guard, right? So this is the same type of thing. But if this is the same type of thing, right, then I would kind of compare this to, I guess, you know, nobody can criticize black people in February either.
Exactly. It would seem like February is a more, I guess, a month that celebrates black people
established
comprehensively.
No doubt. So the entire month of February, if you're white, you better not criticize black people, especially if you're a politician, because if you want to get black votes, you can't do that.
Interestingly enough, the articles I read about this supposed controversy were accompanied with a lot of responses, people's tweets, particularly black people's tweets, right?
No doubt.
But I just find it interesting that their black power just shows up right now to criticize Bernie Sanders. But I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck was their black power when Barack Obama signed the Blue Alert bill. Do you remember that bill, Will? That provided and extended further protections to police officers, not black people now, as far as being murdered extrajudiciously by cops. It provided further protections to police officers at a time when cop shootings were increasing. That was what Barack Obama did. So where's your fucking black power then to try to criticize like Bernie Sanders for saying, just having the nerve to say something about the Democratic Party and Barack Obama on MLK's death, but you didn't say shit about Barack Obama and how he almost undermined like, I guess, people's push to hold police officers accountable, almost making them giving them more power.